Hello and welcome back. In this section, we are going to be working on a tool called the PHP My Admin. I'm going to be taking you around the PHP admin, showing us what we can actually achieve using the PHP My Admin. Now, what is the PHP My Admin? The PHP My Admin will allow us to manage the database. So that's what the PHP My Admin allows us to actually do. So let's go and check it out. So firstly, go to your browser. Now let's have the localhost / php my admin. Okay, so it brings us to this very page. Now this is a tool and is going to allow us to manage the database that we have here. Okay, now another way we can use to get here is when you go to your exam control. Okay, just go to your exam control panel. You will see where we have my SQL. Just click on admin. It brings us to the PHP My Admin that we have here. Okay, so that's another way we can actually get to this particular page. Now let's click on database. Now what we can actually do with this PHP My Admin is to create database. Okay, so we can create database, create tables, and read the database that we have. There's so many things that we can actually do on this tool. Okay, and it's very easy to access. I'm just going to be taking us around this tool and showing us the things that we can actually do with this tool. Now firstly, if you want to create a database, just come down to this database here, click on it, then it brings us to this page. Come down here, and where we have database name, just write your name, the database name of your choice. You can be any name. Immediately you just put that. Now click on the create button here, so the database will be listed out here, and it will be listed out here also. Now very importantly, don't delete any of the database we have here. These are default database that we have on this PHP My Admin. Don't delete any of them. So that's very important. Now let's move on to SQL. This is where you can create queries. Okay, if you are very good with SQL, you have SQL has some commands that we actually use. If you want to create a database with this, you just use the create database command. Okay, so you now write the name of the database here and click enter. Immediately it creates a database for us. So this one is just using the SQL command to actually work with the database, using the SQL commands, query commands to actually work with the database. So we have run SQL queries. Okay, so we have some queries. Once you just put down the queries, you come down here and click go, then you execute the particular query that you have already stated here. Now let's move on to status. Now status, we have network traffic since startup. Okay, so this we have processes. Okay, we have query statistics. Okay, there's so many things that we can do right here. So we have query statistics. Okay, the statistics of we have all status variables, we have monitors, we have advisory. So these are advanced stuff that we can actually use the SQL to achieve. Okay, so we're not going to be using many of all this. Okay, but you can, if you know SQL very well, that these are advanced stuff that you can use it to achieve. So we have network traffic since startup. So the traffic, this is just kind of showing us the statistics of the traffic that we have on the database. All right, we have user account. Now we have some user accounts here. Okay, so we have the all privileges. Okay, so these are the user accounts that we have here. Now we have export. Now the exports, basically, if you want to get a an SQL file. For example, maybe you created a database and maybe you want to do something like a backup. Okay, you want to back up the file on your drive. You can just click on the database here, and immediately you click on the database here. If you click on export, it gets that database in here. All right, then what you just do is to click on export. Okay, once you click on export, it helps you to download the database completely in an SQL format. Okay, it downloads it in an SQL format. So very importantly, if you want to back up your SQL, so maybe you have a database, you create a database, and you want to back up the file. So this way you're going to actually back up that file. So it backs it up in the .sql format. So also, now when you back up the file, if you want to import it back into this particular tool, you want to use that database file, so you can come down to import. Okay, so just choose the file. So the file must be an SQL file. Very importantly, it must be an SQL file for it to actually work here. So what you just do, you just choose a file, so on your PC, and you select the SQL file, then you click on go. So just click on import. Okay, just click on import, and it gets that file imported into our database. Okay, so it's very important that you know all these things. Now you go to settings. Okay, so we have we can choose some, there are some settings that we can actually work on here. Okay, we have two-factor authentication, we have manage your settings, features, SQL queries. So you can get SQL queries here, navigation panel, main panel, exporter. So many things that we can actually do here. So we can go down to replication. Okay, and we can see variables. So we have so many of those here. Okay, so we can see character sets. Okay, so character sets, we have some character sets that we have here. Okay, so you can see one of those stuffs that we have right here. So it's very simple. You have engines, you have plugins. So all these ones are for advanced use of SQL. So basically what we are going to do, we're just going to be touching one of those things that touching some of the important things that we have on this database tool, that's this PHPMadmin. So we're not going to be going so deep on it. So the important things we have for the course of this course, that's what we are actually touching on this particular PHPMadmin tool. So very easy. In the course of the lectures from now, we are going to be creating, inserting data and reading data, a lot of things, updating data and deleting data. So many things that you can actually achieve with this, and I'm sure you're going to have a good understanding, and you start building applications on your own. So that's it that we have to do. That's all. So in our next sessions, I'm going to be teaching you furthermore on how to make most of this PHPMadmin. All right, thank you for your time, and bye for now.